Hey, what's going on, guys? I just finished recording my last video, so I said I was going to record one straight after that, which is what I'm doing right now. Same place, same time. Um, I wanted to make this video was something that I've been planning to do ever since I started this channel, and it's something kind of personal to me. And I know I'm not alone in this situation, or I mean, I'm not in this situation anymore, but growing up I was. And that is growing up with an alcoholic parent, whether that be your mother or father, or whatever. For me, it was my mother. Now, I'll go back. I kind of wanted to do a video series where I'm sort of talking about my life, sort of thing, like in different stages. But this I guess it's going to be kind of an overview if you want to think of it that way. But I was born in Ireland, and basically my mom and dad. My dad was from County Mayo in Ireland, which is on the west coast, and it was sort of like beyond rural, like more rural, like as rural as you could imagine, really, like a really tiny village, like only a handful of people, and really out of the way. But my mum, she was half Irish through her own mother, who was from County Westmeath, and my grandfather is actually English, so I'm actually 3/4 Irish, 1/4 English. But before I was even one, she kind of got fed up. I don't know what the situation was. Like, I think it was sort of building up that she was not really wanting to be there anymore. So one day she just basically took me across to England, just basically ran away from my dad. But anyway, I just wanted to sort of introduce that. But growing up over there, I was sort of raised by my grandparents quite a lot. Because my mother was always sick with health issues, which kind of were related to alcohol. Like, they kind of made things worse, and also that contributed as well. She was having a health issue, so she drank more. So I grew up with my grandparents, but then about age, I want to say 6 or 7, I actually did move back in with my mom, and she married someone else, but I'm not going to discuss that because that wasn't really relevant. But throughout the whole years, from maybe around age 7 to like 18, I want to say, which is when she actually died, she was just constantly drinking. Like, I can't even remember a time when she was sober. And on top of that, she was taking medication for health issues as well. She was in and out of hospital, which obviously mixing alcohol and medication isn't a good idea at all, and that just sent her a bit kind of, loopy, if that's the only word I can really think of. Like, there'd be times where I'd come home from school, and she'd be passed out on the kitchen floor, like, just completely out of it. I couldn't even wake her up or anything. And there was a few times we actually phoned an ambulance about it, and when the ambulance came, they knew straight away that she was obviously intoxicated, because that was the first thing they'd ask her if he had a drink. And obviously, like most alcoholics, she always denied it. Like, she'd say, like, no, I've not been drinking, but you could tell she could barely walk. But I think that situation of me growing up in that's kind of what fueled my anxiety, because I guess there was situations where I would try and talk, and I'd just be told to go to my room, be quiet, whatever. So that kind of forced me to be kind of like a hermit. Like, I'd never go out, I'd never socialize or speak my mind, if you will. But then basically what happened was she ended up leaving the person that she remarried, so my stepdad basically, and she went to live by herself. She was there for about a year, probably less than a year. And then one day we tried phoning her. My grandparents tried phoning her, so her parents, they tried phoning her, and there was no answer. So we left it another day. I mean, I should mention as well that she actually phoned like every day, like multiple times a day, to my grandparents' house. And obviously she was always drunk, but I mean, just the fact that she called, and then one day she didn't call at all, it's kind of unlike her. So we ended up going around to the house. Like I said, we waited a day, then we went around to the house, knocked on the door, no answer. We tried looking through the window, there was nothing there. Now, I should mention as well, going back the day before was the last time my grandpa actually saw her. He went around and gave her a bottle of milk. And he said she looked really unwell, but like I said, he just gave her the milk and ended up leaving, because she was obviously drunk at that time as well. So we knocked on the door, no answer. We looked through the window and we noticed the bottle of milk was actually still there, unopened on the side, like in the kitchen. So I guess we left it. We figured maybe she's gone out somewhere. The next day we went round again, the following morning, no answer again. And we noticed that the milk had actually fallen over. It was still in the same position, but it had fallen over. It was on its side. So that kind of confuses a bit. Like, had she knocked the milk over, or had it just gone like sour and as a result fallen over on its own, But anyway, we stayed there. I actually called my aunt as well, which was my mom's sister, and she came around, tried knocking on the door, no answer. So we ended up calling the police, and they thought they should probably knock the door down, so they came in, battered the door down. They went into the apartment that she was in, and she was there, passed out on the floor in a puddle of blood. And what happened was her esophagus had actually exploded, and she had liver failure as well as a result of the alcohol. So yeah, and it turned out the milk that was on the side had actually fallen over because it had gone sour. So it was all kind of a strange sort of turn of events. But yeah, that was it. 18. My mum had just died. I should point out as well, up to that point, I'd never spoken to my dad, who was still back in Ireland when we left, before I turned 1. So I'd never seen him for like my whole life, pretty much. And yeah, so I was pretty much left with no parents. And around that time, that's when I decided I was going to emigrate to America, leave it all behind. And that's where I am right now. And I'm married now. I've been married for nearly 2 years. But like I said, this all happened in the UK. And after this had happened, that sent me into a really bad depression. And at that point, I'd not been back to Ireland except for one time when I was about 6, which was just like a vacation type thing. And that event actually brought some of my grandma's family over to attend the funeral. And I sort of got to know them a bit more. And I didn't know how close my mom was to them at that, like before she moved over. So that actually got me involved with that side of the family. And I moved, well, I didn't move. I went over there quite a bit after my mom died. And that got me really involved in sort of Irish culture, that side of me, if that makes sense. And yeah, I started going over to Ireland a lot more before I moved here. And in a way, I kind of regret not being able to move to Ireland for at least a little bit, because I feel like I've lost out on a lot. And still to this day, I think to myself, should I just move to Ireland? Like, my wife's from Texas. Sometimes I question, should I move to Ireland? Would I have a better quality of life there? Because I've got to admit, I do really, really miss Ireland, but I don't know, that's probably a topic for another video. We're going back for Christmas anyway. We're going back for Christmas and New Year this year, which is actually just over 2 months away. Just under 2 months now, actually, because I'm going on the 23rd. Today's the 24th of October, 2015, so yeah, so I'm going to sort of use that trip as sort of a determination. What do I want to do, you know? But yeah, this is a story I feel like I've not really gotten out there, and I feel like getting it off my chest is actually going to help, getting it out on YouTube. And if people want to ask me questions, like leave a comment below on anything. I'm not afraid to share anything like that. I feel better for getting it off my chest, like I said. So ask me anything about my childhood, growing up, you know, anything about anxiety or depression. Generally things you want me to make a video on that I can sort of get ideas from, because I'm pretty much willing to make videos on anything, and I'm willing to share my stories out there. And this video's been going on for 8 minutes now, so I should probably wrap this up. Made 2 videos today, so I'll probably make some more tomorrow as well. So I feel like what's the word I'm looking for? Like I want to pump out some videos. I'm feeling inspired, I guess that's the word. But yeah, guys, so that's gonna be it for this. Hope you enjoyed this video. And like I said, leave comments below, ask me anything you want. And until next time, see ya.